Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Military History Chronicles. Myself, Eric, my buddy Will. Here to get into it again. No specific topic. We'll hit on a whole bunch of different things. Kind of the usual suspects, right? That really doesn't. That hasn't changed in a few months, has it?
No, I don't think it's going to anytime soon either.
To be honest with you, I have to agree. You got stuff in the Middle East. You still got of course, the Russian-Ukrainian war going on, and of course, can't forget the Pacific. I see all the regulars out there. I appreciate it. Got Tom. What's up? What's up, Rox? What's up, Jimmy? What's up, Jim? We got Jimmy and Johnny. Got D-Shot and Aaron. Of course, the great Jim Everett. And Clarence Speaks. I saw he was in here earlier giving a little chat welcome, talking about war. What's up, Dilly?
Oh, we got Dilly in here, right on.
One thing I am not going to talk about is my damn fantasy baseball line today. Oh my God.
You and me both, man. My team is a bag of hammered dog mess, dude.
Oh my God, man. If anyone wants a starting pitcher named Hunter Brown, you could have him after midnight because that guy's getting dropped like a hot potato. The guy lasted 2/3 of an inning, gave up 9 runs. Oh, my ERA and whip is just destroyed.
Oh, Joe Musgrove has ruined mine, dude. Joe Musgrove, you freaking bum. Like, figure it out.
Dilly knows he's looking. Dilly's looking. He already look at that. 125 ERA and an 18 whip. See, he knows. He's watching.
The saddest part about it, I have Lindor on my team, but I haven't, unless I have to play him, I don't play the guy at all because he freaking stinks. He's 5 for 51.
All right, guys. I don't mean to get into sports stuff, but this is just fantasy we're talking about. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see some. I just got to see how many points I actually dropped today because it was just.
Oh man.
Debbie Downer. Oh, minus 11, man. Oh my God. Oof.
That's how far you dropped?
Oh no, I'm minus 11 points for I dropped to 9th. I went from 6th to 9th. Golly, man.
Really?
Look at that. Freaking Dan's just below me. Well, I should say it's actually Matt B now. Just below me. It was just the thing is I only had the other starting pitcher that could have helped me had a game postponed. The other guys, the other relievers that I had, none of them pitched. Right. So it couldn't bring in those numbers down. So I'm stuck with a huge ERA and a whip. But it's all good. And my damn offense did I had a lot of guys off today. There wasn't a whole lot of games happening today.
A couple of games postponed today too.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Postponed games and then just games not happening. Yeah, that's how it happens, Glenn. It depends. If those guys that you have in there are performing, you're good to go. You got nothing to worry about.
Jimmy, I got a perfect song for my fantasy team. Once they start rolling again, it's going to be called Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix Rising. Nice.
No, okay.
Hey, that would be good.
I'll make some up. There's a good song on the shelf right now. I will tell you that right now. There is a really good song on the shelf.
Jim's asking, how's Dan doing? I talked to him earlier today. He seems to be okay. It still seems a little, of course, down in the dumps a little bit there, it's probably going to be that way for a few days. It's just, when you lose an animal like that, especially when you're really attached to them, it's, I said it yesterday. It's like losing a child. So
that's rough, man.
It is. It'll take a while. He's, the issue is to stay in a routine, stay busy. Try to do things that doesn't remind, what I'm saying? You got to have it's tough. And really the only healing solution is time. It sucks. It's kind of an overplayed solution, but it's the truth, right? It takes time. But he'll be fine here in a few days.
He'll be good to go.
Yep. All right, kind of like what I was saying earlier, I guess we could start off with the stuff in the Middle East, man. Goodness gracious.
The complete clown show in the Middle East.
Well, it's really weird because you're hearing so many different I mean,
Well,
just
yeah.
within a matter of a week, right?
Well, so this is really the first time we've heard rhetoric come from not just one side but multiple sides. So you got Israel, you got us saying one thing, you got Israel saying one thing, you got the Iranians saying one thing, you got the Germans saying another. I mean, it's like, what in the hell is going on here? I mean, what is the real? Okay, so what's really going on? In other words, I mean,
It's a good question, Will. I don't.
You have Iran coming out today saying, "Oh, psych," like.
Well, here let's get into this a little bit here. I gotta. Oh, where is it at? Right there. We'll talk about this here. All right. So this is today. As a matter of fact, I think this was posted probably maybe just over an hour ago, somewhere on there. Mm-hmm. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin held a phone call earlier tonight with Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. I think that's how you say it. Mm-hmm. During which he reiterated the United States' ironclad commitment to Israeli security while also discussing the continued preparations. Here we go. Continued preparations by the United States and Israeli forces for what is believed to be an imminent retaliatory attack by Iran. Okay. Here's the source. It's actual from the DOD. There we go. This is the what was released from Department of Defense, saying to reiterate the ironclad U.S. support for Israel's defense in the face of growing threats from Iran and its regional proxies. That's going to be a big thing right there. The regional proxies.
Yeah, I don't think,
because I think that's where a lot of the stuff is going to be.
Right.
Echoing President Biden's unequivocal message to Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, Secretary Austin assured Minister Gallant that Israel could count on U.S. or full U.S. support to defend Israel against Iranian attacks, which Tehran has publicly threatened. Mm-hmm. So that's what we got right now.
Well,
I mean, obviously there's intelligence that is being gathered. I don't know. Of course, we're not going to know what that is until after the fact. If we may never, even never know. But I don't know, man. This is let's see what we got here.
I mean, the real warring thing is the threat to domestic terrorism or anything like that on our own soil here.
Here's another guy. This is another guy I follow. This guy's really good, Patrick Fox. He's pretty level-headed. He's got some good points. I like following this guy. Okay. He says a question I've gotten more than once. I think the chance of a proxy strike is, as usual, higher than an Iran directly engaging with Israelis. Right. We've kind of been saying that, right?
Oh yeah, and not only that, but it gives Iran. Obviously, we know who did it, but it also gives them plausible deniability.
Correct.
They acted on their own accord. It wasn't us. They did themselves.
Right. And he goes, however, both are distinct possibilities. I cannot predict what the Iranian leadership will do here. Agreed. Iranian threat perceptions on the probable Israeli and U.S. responses to any act of aggression on their part will play a large role in their decision-making. Okay. We could break that down here. Let me finish reading this and we'll break it down. U.S. responses to date. Okay, here we go. He's kind of talking about it. U.S. responses to date have been on the restrained side, while Israel is still engaged in operations against Hamas that would tend to encourage a degree of aggression on the part of Iran. Interesting. Okay. This is something me and you have been talking about. What has the United States done recently? And when I say recently, let's start when the Biden administration came into office. All right. Mm-hmm. Has this administration shown any type of how do I want to say it? How do we want to say this? Let's just say the response has been weak. Let's just go there. The response has been weak from the United States in what is happening across the globe. It's been pretty and it makes you wonder. We talked about this. It makes you wonder. Is this weakness has that opened the door for some of these belligerents to start acting?
100%.
Because look what's happening. Well, a perfect example. Look what's going on in the Red Sea. The Houthis are still doing
They're still doing their thing. They're still holding ships hostage. So here's the thing now. So just so you guys know this, they're no longer reporting the attacks in the Red Sea anymore. They're happening every freaking day.
You know, it's funny. If you go on Twitter and you follow CENTCOM, I get a tweet every day, a CENTCOM talking about
intercepted 20 missiles,
another missile, another one-way drone attack in the Red Sea constantly. But in the news, you don't hear nothing. Exactly. And it's funny because you got an Iranian intelligence ship out there that's given the Houthis the information on the ships in the Red Sea, and there has been no response against that naval ship.
So to Aaron's point here, so Aaron in the chat goes, does CENTCOM know whether or not Iran has a nuke?
They know.
I'm pretty sure they know that Iran has a nuke right now. Because if Iran did not have a nuke, we would be. I would assume we would be acting a little bit differently towards.
Okay, Iran. then this is where it pisses me off, because why was Biden trying to resurrect the quote unquote nuclear deal with Iran when he came into office? If they know,
remember, not more than 2 months ago, the Japanese Yakuza was caught selling yellow cake to the Iranians.
Good old yellow cake. Yeah.
So,
but it seems a little bit weird, doesn't it? Because I even said that, remember, a few weeks ago, I was like, it's a little bit weird that we're not retaliating as much as I think we should, especially when U.S. forces are being attacked in Iraq. And we had servicemen die in the line of duty.
We talked about this back in probably November.
Yes.
You know, why aren't we going after them directly? If they don't have a nuke, then why not? Who cares?
Look, I understand you want to de-escalate. You don't want to escalate. But, there comes to a point in time. There comes to a point in time where you're constantly getting pushed around, and you have no response. And it's
right. You got to smack somebody in the mouth.
Yes, but I also understand that it can't be done. I just don't know, man. I just don't know what the solution. And look where it's gone. Look where this has gone. And I kind of figured we talked about this when Hamas attacked Israel back in October 7th. What's up, Matt?
Cracker, buddy. Excuse me.
It opened a door for this thing to just get out of control. I mean, we said it here on the show many times. I mean, it's nothing, earth shaking that we announced. I mean, anyone who knows what's going on over there could kind of figure out, hey, this is probably not going to stop here. And I'll tell you one thing: you look at the difference between how Israel has responded and the United States.
Much different.
Much different, isn't it? Israel basically doesn't give a shit, and they will attack. They will attack Iranian figures in other countries. They don't care. They're going to do it if they have intelligence.
They're all in.
They're all in, because you know why? I think they said, you know what? We've had enough. Because you know why? What do you think is going to happen? You can't appease your enemy, right?
No.
I should say,
you
can if you understand. If you understand, where they're coming from. But they have dealt with Iranian proxies and Iranians. We'll just lowball it. We'll say for decades they have been dealing with Iranian proxies and Iran itself. And I think they've had enough. And they said, you know what? Now it's time to, we're going to have to do what we can to just be, whatever it may lead, we're going to have to do it.
Right.
And they're doing it. They're knocking out the leadership. I mean, I think they just killed Hamas's leader. They killed a bunch of his sons and his grandsons in a strike. So they're not backing off.
And, I think too, with the Iranians, probably what kind of made them back down too is when it comes to warfare, the Israelis aren't bluffing. They will nuke you. They will nuke you to nothing, and that's part of their Samson. That's what was it they call it, the Samson Operation Samson, whatever it is, Samson Protocol, where they just go full nuke on Iran, anybody around them. to defend themselves. They aren't bluffing. They're not bullshitting. They will do that. They will make the nuclear option very available.
And I was reading. God, here. Let me see if let's see if I have that tweet, because supposedly the Israeli Air Force has been flying like 48 hours straight with planes constantly in the air and planes on alert.
Let me check out Flight Radar real quick. I want to see if there's still any activity over Tehran.
So, well, supposedly Lufthansa, right? Didn't they?
Yeah, they suspended flights.
They suspended flights.
Let me see what we got in Flight Radar.
Oh, that's something else we'll have to talk about there. Oh my gosh. Where are we at here?
I'm on Flight Radar.
Gosh dang it! I guess I don't.
By the way, a little off, not really off topic. Have you noticed any kind of uptick in military traffic around your AO? Like, I've been seeing a lot of Blackhawks and Chinooks lately. It's kind of weird.
Well, I know Stockton, they got a Air National Guard over there, so they might be just doing an exercise. Who knows?
Annual training or something.
All right, let's get into this. Rock says most Americans are oblivious that we're on the brink of World War III. Man, what did I say a few months ago? I said we're in it. Granted, it's not to the level of World War II or World War I, but you can make a pretty good case that we're in it.
Right.
It's not. We're not. We're past the brink. Granted, we're not in full-fledged World War III, but let's say we're in the labor pains of World War III. How about that?
It almost feels like a prior to World War I, there was a nice pregnant pause, and then you had the catalyst, which was the assassination of the Archduke Ferdinand. That's kind of what it feels like we have right now. We have this big old pregnant pause. All it takes is one thing popping off, and next thing you know, we're just all at war.
It's all over. Yep.
Yeah.
Aaron says enemies know the U.S. doesn't want to impose a strong response because said enemies know that the U.S. doesn't want to be dragged into a larger conflict. There's some truth to that.
Amongst
Aaron.
other things, yeah.
There is some truth to that. Absolutely. And let's not forget, we're also in an election year because that also has a lot to do with it as well. But this thing was kicking off even before. Well, no, I guess you're still kind of, because it was in the fall. But the stuff that happened in Ukraine, that happened, 2 years ago, man. Granted, yeah, we'll get into that later. I don't want to. We're going to have our own segment for that one too. Matt says, Eric, you are correct. Can't appease someone who has already said they want to wipe off your country off your map. No reason to appease. Exactly. The end result is already there. It can't get any worse.
100%. 100%.
What is going to happen over there? I don't know. It's been going back and forth. I think we talked about this first. It was, when the Israelis hit that embassy, which is incredible. They actually did that.
That's some
like
balls,
I said,
man.
they're exactly. They didn't hit that quote unquote embassy, but they hit the compound. They hit a building.
They sent the message.
Yes, they did. And I think it was received loud and clear.
Oh, yeah.
But you got, oh, excuse me.
We good?
After Israel did that, Iran, they, of course, hey, we're going to destroy Israel, whatever. They always say that.
Mm-hmm.
But you also got to be careful, the whole boy who cried wolf type of thing, because you never know, because it could be that it just takes that one time. But,
see, but
it's been going back and forth. They said, we're not going to do nothing. Oh, we're going to do something. Oh, we're not going to do nothing. So
it's kind of reminds you of Ahmadinejad. Remember him? Same kind of rhetoric. He'd come in and say, "Oh, we're gonna go kill you all," and then back down. "Oh, we're gonna kill you all tomorrow." It's like,
whatever happened to that guy, man?
I don't know. Is he in prison somewhere?
I don't know. I know he fell out of favor with the Ayatollah, right?
Yeah, Khomeini don't like him no more.
I don't even know who to quote unquote, because he was like kind of the face of Iran there for a while, and then all of a sudden,
he was their top dog, man.
Yep. And now all of a sudden, it's just he kind of fell by the wayside.
I think he was causing Obama all kinds of problems.
Eric will be. What do you think about how China will take over Taiwan? We'll get into that.
That's another.
We'll get into that.
That's the most worrisome, to be honest.
Yes. And it's kind of being there's a few people out there who keep banging a drum about China, but who's listening?
No, it's all Ukraine and the Middle East. It's
right now. It is. That's where the focus seems to be. But,
right.
We'll get into it later.
Yeah.
Appeasement is to get someone to play nice, basically. Hamas has already said that they will never play nice. I know, exactly. I've talked about appeasement before. That's what happened. They try to appease Hitler. Didn't work out too well. I mean, you could kind of say the same thing with these countries. You think these people are mindset-wise aren't much different than what Hitler is, right?
No, you're right. You can't appease somebody who has a complete opposite view of yours. I mean,
Exactly.
You can compromise, but you'll never be able to appease. To appease would be to surrender to them, to surrender and kowtow completely. That would be appeasement. Yeah, and that's not the way to go.
No, and I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting. As Patrick Fox said in his tweet, he thinks it's mostly going to be proxies, which it probably will be. It'll be Hezbollah. It'll be Hamas.
This is the closest to the Cold War we ever had. This is a Cold War. We're using proxies to fight other nations. This is what we're doing.
Right. Little bit different as far as
they're doing.
Yeah, we're not right. Exactly.
We're not doing.
I mean, we are doing it. Well, we were.
Oh man,
I'm talking about Ukraine, but that's kind of. I don't know what's going on with all that.
Our response is so awful.
And
so they've caught us at a period where we're down. They know that our president doesn't want to do anything during the election cycle. They're taking full advantage of it.
You know what? And I think it even goes beyond that because
Putin's
all the writing on the wall in how we handled Afghanistan.
Oh, so weak.
I keep going back to that. I know I sound like a broken record, but that has to be said because I think that response that happened in Afghanistan
that has to go down as one of the weakest moves in American history. That has to go down as one of the top weakest moves in American history.
I mean, it's just there's so many things. Just the way that it was done, you leave Americans behind.
And then when you're asked how many Americans left behind,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. And then you know what's even, what makes me feel even worse than that. When you had Afghanis who were helping the United States, right? Whether they were interpreters, whether they were whether they were some type of intel source, they just got thrown to the wolves.
What about
how
the guys
could you do that?
Oh, even the guys that helped clean up around the fob, picking up trash, and
exactly.
Some of these guys worked in the damn Pizza Huts and Taco Bells.
Yep.
And we left them behind. And the Taliban knows they work for the United States. The Taliban sure as shit knows they work for the United States. And guess what? They're probably dead now.
They probably are, and along with their families.
Yep.
And that's how you treated.
And they were probably killed in the most awful way you could probably imagine.
Oh, I know. Oh, it gets us.
And we left them all behind. We probably
left them all behind with no plan.
We were probably responsible for about 10,000 civilian deaths right now.
I know, and it could have been easily. So they could have. Come on, you could think of a better plan. You could have, months ahead of time. You could have built a huge tent city on base, and then you could have put the word out, "Hey, bring your family on base. We'll protect you here, right?"
Well, I mean, Eric, you and I both know what the proper plan is. It's rip-toe. It's a standard doctrine that we all go by. Yeah. Why throw that out the window? Why is this a special occasion? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh. It makes you want to go punch a damn wall. It really does. I mean, what was the point of us going over there then? I mean, it's just, I don't know.
You bring up a good point. That whole Brittany Griner.
No, that was bullshit.
Because who they traded for to get her back?
That guy killed a bunch of people.
That guy has a lot of blood on his hands. And you know what? Yeah. I guarantee you he's back doing the same damn thing.
He's back in Russia doing it all over again.
Yeah.
He's probably selling arms to the Russians over there to fight Ukrainians. He probably killed plenty of Ukrainians.
Yes, Retrograde. Did you watch that yet? Did you watch that, Aaron?
If you've ever seen Retrograde, get ready to get pissed.
Yeah. I'm telling you, watch that show. Retrograde, man. It will get your blood boiling. I'm telling you, there is no doubt about it.
Well, Poppy Field's 100%. D-Shot and the CIA owns those. So.
Yep. Says Eric and Wilby, have you heard recently Tucker Carlson and other and others that Christians are being treated terribly by the Israeli government. Is that true? I don't know about that.
It's not. Well,
To be
okay,
honest with you, I don't believe a lot of things that Tucker Carlson says. That's just me.
I'll touch on it briefly. Just I won't go too far into this because it's YouTube. Historically, those who practice Judaism do not really like Christians because they don't accept Christ.
Correct. I get that. Yep.
And so, and don't forget also in the Bible too, Jesus does call out those in Jerusalem as being Canaanites, not actual Jews. So there's a little bit of there's. I'll leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So you're it's basically it's more falling not necessarily political, but it's all religious.
It's ideological.
Yeah.
It's ideological.
Right. What's up, Val?
What's up, Val?
So be careful on what you gotta do your own research when it comes to that. Just don't because
it's not that they
Dr.
hate
Carlson,
Christians. It's different for them, So
right. You want to talk about the persecution of Christians? I got plenty of other places you can look. Go take a look at what's happening in Africa. Oh my God. It's genocide that's happening in Africa. The persecution of Christians in Africa is absolutely horrendous. Go take a look, guys. It's out there.
Oh, yeah,
It's bad.
You practice Christianity in Africa, they call you a Wachawi. That means a witch. And they will burn you alive.
And you know what's funny? Do you hear any of that in the news? It's kind of
No.
what you're talking about.
And
you hear
don't
none
forget,
of that in the news.
Indonesia to this day still persecutes Christians too.
You know who else
China.
You can't be a Christian. You know when the Vatican.
My grandfather was arrested for being a Christian in the 70s.
Well, there you go. There you go. You got family
passing out Bibles.
There you go. How about this? This is specifically with Catholics, but again, they're Christians. When they announced the list of new bishops, they have to keep if any of the bishops or if any of the bishops become cardinals in China, they got to keep it. They don't announce it. They keep it quiet.
Yeah.
It's like basically, okay, this anonymous or whatever it is
because they're gonna go to a rethink camp otherwise.
Because then they're gonna get arrested by the Chinese government. That's what's gonna happen.
So
you got to be careful. I mean, you want to talk about look, religious persecution happens all over the globe, and it's not specific just to Christians, and it's not specific to whatever
100%.
religion it may be. But it's the thing is when it seems when it happens to let's just say with Christians, it doesn't get the play as it does for other. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. But it just seems that way. It just seems that way.
You see an attack on a mosque, and it's like, oh crap, sky's falling.
Correct.
You see an attack on a church, like, oh, they're
but
crazy.
I don't know that. I think they're playing to a narrative. They're trying to
100%.
Yeah. There's other let's just
there's ulterior motives going on there.
Absolutely 100%. But so what's going to happen? I don't know. Hell, it may happen while we're on the show or the attack starts, because right now, what time is it over there? Early in the morning, right?
Early in the morning. They said they're going to attack right around now, right? What's going on? What are we doing? Do your attack. Hey, right on, babe. Yeah, my grandfather went over to China in the 70s, was arrested. He was on a mission, and he actually got arrested by the Communist Party. And I don't know if you've ever seen the early episodes of MHC about a month ago, but I showed the book that they were trying to re-educate him while he was in jail. So they gave him this book to read about Maoist. There's a bunch of quotes from Mao. Oh, you muted her.
Yeah, my bad. There we go. Here we go. Kind of segue into this here. Supreme Allied Commander of Europe, U.S. Army General Christopher Cavoli.
Well, hold on. Since when do we have Supreme Allied Commanders now?
I think we've had those, right? Supreme Allied Commanders? Yeah, I think
no, not since World War II. This is a brand new thing, man.
Are you sure? Pretty sure. Supreme Allied Commander in Europe? That was Eisenhower's, right? Yeah.
That was 06. So this guy's in 06?
No. Well, He's 4-star, so 05. I don't think no one's been promoted to an 06 in what?
Hold
A while.
on. I gotta look this up, man. Hold on.
All right, but listen to what he has to say, which is very interesting. They got here in quotations: Russia shows no sign of stopping, nor does Russia intend to stop with Ukraine. Russia presents to us a chronic threat. This is from him. Here we go.
And it's important to note that Russia shows no signs of stopping, nor does Russia intend to stop with Ukraine. Russia presents to us a chronic threat. U.S. EUCOM has responded to this threat by enhancing our deterrence posture across Europe. We've strengthened our eastern flank with rotational force deployments. We've expanded pre-positioned stocks. We've modernized our infrastructure to enable rapid reception of forces. And we have demonstrated our ability to reinforce in all domains through dozens of multinational training exercises.
Whew. Boy, oh boy.
All right, I'll haze myself.
Yeah, I think it's been around a while, right?
Yeah, it's been around since World War One, but I didn't know. So like the actual title itself, because the way I learned it was it's not 06, 05. It's the the Pentagon stars. But yeah. Okay. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, real quick. Hold on, let me see this. Hold on, one real quick.
Trying to find some China action.
There we go. Okay, real quick. Okay, we'll get into that has to do with Russia and Ukraine. But we'll come back to that. Hold on 1 second. Let's go back to the Iran just real quick. This guy's pretty good too. I like following this guy. OSINT Mercury.
Oh yeah,
he's pretty good. Says, I find myself having to adjust my priors for the competence and seriousness of world powers. The U.S. had not planned for the eventuality of personnel being killed even after over 100 attacks. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember we talked about that before any U.S. servicemen died. We were talking about what is going on. We're being attacked in Iraq, but nothing is happening, right?
Right.
This was followed by days of threats and inaction, eventually concluding with little real effect, but rather a ceremonial round of strikes on empty buildings. Who are we talking about right now? United States. Okay.
Right.
Iran is now displaying a similar lack of either competence or seriousness. At this point, after a week of threats and no action, any attack that will eventually come would need to exceed the expectations of their adversary to have an effect, which is very unlikely. It really seems that the strategic sophistication of regional and global military powers, China to be determined, right, is limited to planning one action at a time. In the U.S. example, after the first few attacks on their personnel, the pattern and persistent nature of the threat should have been clear, let alone after 100 attacks. They should have prepped multiple contingencies and responses to various eventualities, the most obvious of which would have been taking casualties. There would be various thresholds and criteria governing escalation and magnitude of their response, and many assets that are capable of rapid deployment would be kept on standby. So when something happened that fit the criteria of a response, a counterstrike would be carried out within hours, instead of leaving a week for the enemy forces to reposition and escape retaliatory strikes. Now with Iran, we see the same incompetence. They have been attacking Israeli and U.S. forces through proxies for 6 months now. An obvious eventuality to prepare for would-be attacks on an embassy or consulate, which is a step up from attacks on their personnel in Iraq and Syria, a threshold that had already been crossed. Instead of being able to plan just one step ahead of what had become their modus operandi for months, they are stuck in a very long ODA loop. What does that stand for? I can't remember.
Observe, orient, decide, and act.
Ooh, I know
Planning.
Planning, military planning. I know exactly what it is. I've read about that. I just read about that in that damn book. It's really good. Gosh dang it, I can't remember what it was. I'll have to find it. Wasting days.
It's like CRM.
I know exactly. Yep, that's what it is. It's like it's the kill chain. That's what it is. That's the damn That's the book I read, The Kill Chain, and that's part of the kill chain. Wasting
and just
days
for you
to
guys, real quick, CRM stands for Composite Risk Management. Anyways,
Yeah, risk management. Love these fancy words for the freaking military nowadays.
yeah,
Right?
right.
Wasting days deciding how to respond and preparing the response. Now, any attack that is within the envelope of Israeli expectations will carry less weight than it would have had the same attack been carried out the next day. Interesting. So he's also questioning what is going to happen with what Iran does. So basically, he thinks Iran's kind of fallen in the same mode of what the United States has done. Yeah, it's interesting. I love reading these different opinions of what people are thinking. Because, yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. Again, only time will tell what's going to happen here. Again, it may just be, who knows? Let's just take it day by day, I guess, and see what happens.
I'm just thinking about that right now. I'm just trying to think where Iran falls in this whole thing now. Are they the linchpin? Are they the pin that gets pulled first and everybody else acts afterwards? Or
I don't know.
It's weird.
You think about it. I mean, Israel's been hammering freaking Iranian assets ever since October 7th. They've been striking within Syria. They've been striking within what else? And Lebanon. I mean, they're absolutely obliterating any kind of Iranian asset.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically those who are in charge of, leading men into battle. So it's interesting because I definitely, Israel has definitely stepped it up, which they should, because I mean they were attacked, and they were attacked by those forces who have been supported by Iran. So I can totally understand why they're doing it. This is not what Mercury just explained. They had a plan and they executed it because of what happened to them. The United States, unfortunately.
Right.
We talked about this. You're constantly being attacked, and you have absolutely no response whatsoever. It's almost like there's no ROE. There's no rules of engagement.
No, none at all.
You know what this reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of Vietnam. Because it's all, don't get me wrong, I understand there's got to be a political role in this. I get it. But you got to be able to give your commanders on the ground. If they're being attacked, there's got to be some type of instantaneous retaliatory strike.
I'll give you one up on top of that too. Falkland Islands, same thing.
Falkland Islands.
The Brits are getting attacked left and right every day, and they just sat there until finally push come to shove, and they had no choice but to go full on war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was back in 82, something like that.
Oh yeah, 82, 83.
They beat the shit out of them.
Oh, Dave.
It was a no contest. I don't even know what the hell the Argentinians were thinking of that time, man.
Why would you? Good luck, homies.
I know. That just made no sense. Yeah, exactly. Once they got that naval strike group together, it was all over with. But
oh my God. And the long range bombers.
Yep. Gosh. That could be something we can actually talk about, the Falkland War.
There's a pretty good documentary on YouTube, actually. It's for free. A couple hours long, but I recommend it.
Where that kind of fits in. That's kind of like, where does it fit into the whole Cold War?
Very much so. Very much so.
But it's interesting to kind of go back to what do you think of that Supreme Allied Commander in Europe? What do you think? He's saying, and a lot of people are saying, now the United States is saying this, where, because there was a lot of European countries saying, hey, Russia's on the march. And a lot of people are kind of, they're not going to do nothing. No, they ain't going to do nothing. But now we got, guys in high positions who are saying, hey, we don't think Russia is stopping with Ukraine. What do you make of that?
I personally, I don't know. I kind of see right now a lust for a war with Russia. I get it. They're an enemy. Obviously, they're an enemy that needs to be dealt with.
Yep.
But,
What's up, Arrow?
But I honestly think I don't think Russia's the target. I think China's the target. That's where we need to be focusing. Screw Russia.
We'll get into that.
I mean, okay, I get Russia wants Ukraine, and today Russia asked for the total surrender of Ukraine today. They wanted a total surrender. They're not going to get it, obviously.
Right.
But I don't see Putin unless something happens in the Middle East or another distraction. I just don't see Putin going to Europe right now. I think that would be a dumb move on his part because we would unequivocally we would answer. We would have an answer for that. I think the war in Ukraine is more of a here's the hand over here. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, over here something else is going on.
Gotcha.
And I think what we need to do, we still need to back Ukraine. We still need to make sure Russia gets put in place. However, I believe that the better way to do this thing is to really focus on China. China needs to be focused on ASAP. Their economy is growing. They're beating us in manufacturing right now. They are a machine, and it needs to be dealt with. I don't mean in a military sense. In a military sense, what I mean by that is growing our own military, growing our own stockpile, getting our ships retrofitted, whatever we got to do to keep up with the damn Chinese
shipbuilding.
Because right now Chinese are kicking our freaking ass in manufacturing, man.
Gosh,
and they're doing it on the cheap. They're doing it so cheap too.
Of course they are because it's slave labor over there, man.
Slave labor,
You're gonna do that, and
they're not paying my cousin out there to do $80 an hour for welding. No, man, they're doing it slave labor. So, no, I think Russia is a distraction. I think that's what it is. I think that's a long play. I think that's what they have in common there. I think it's just a distraction. I wouldn't. Obviously, holy shit, what are you supposed to be? That is the biggest fucking ant I ever seen in my life, and he's about to die. Hold on a second.
All right.
Holy fucking shit. Wow, man. Hold on. I gotta crush this bug. Where'd you go, prick? Holy shit, you should see this. Okay, hold on. I'm going to mute myself. I can't stop.
All right. I'll wait for him to come back. Let's see. Didn't the U.S. just threaten China with tariffs? You know what? Tariffs don't work, man. Tariffs don't work. All it does is it just passes on the cost to everyone else. That's all it does. You think they're going to lose money? They're not losing money off with tariffs. It's dumb. You're just making Americans pay more for goods. That's what you're doing. Matt says, if I'm being honest, I don't think rules of engagement exist anymore for any country but America. You mentioned Vietnam. Then it got worse in 2001. America's enemies will never have it's true. Good point. It's a good point. I mean, they do have kind of a rules of engagement, but it's totally different than what we're practicing.
My God.
Is it all good?
Yeah, man, that thing was about that big.
The hell?
What the fuck was that?
That thing's gonna take you away, man.
Oh man, I wasn't trying to get bit by the damn thing. I crushed the hell out of it. I think it's dead. Anyway, sorry about that.
No worries. Here, let's get into this. This is by Elbridge Colby. This guy's good. This guy is like this is the guy, as I said, talking about banging the drum. This guy bangs the drum about China daily. China is becoming better prepared for war. The U.S. is not. China is engaging in a massive military buildup while the U.S. is lagging behind. We need to be talking about this on national TV, in the New York Times, on podcasts, and on whatever social media the CCP still doesn't control. Right now, what I mostly hear is a deafening, horrible silence. Let's see, because he's responding to Noah Smith. The world may now be in the foothills of World War III, but while the autocratic powers are getting ready as fast as they can, the democratic powers seem utterly blind to the disaster that could be looming just ahead. Now, let's see. Let's see what this guy's blog says here.
I'm sure it killed his.
Oh, you know what? I'm not going to get into this. This is going to be too long.
Oh, he's dead. Cool.
Yeah, I don't want to. That's going to be too much to read. Interesting. Wow. Again, this is a guy that talks about, you got to be prepared for China.
You need to. They are
here we go.
They are the long play. They are the long play. Russia's short term. Eventually, Putin won't be there no more, and that dream will be a bad dream. But China, on the other hand, yeah. China's more radicalized nationally than the Russians are.
Eldred Colby also retweeted a quote from Foreign Policy. If you guys could follow that on Twitter, it's a pretty good publication. Despite the rapid progress made over the past 3 years, the United States and Japan still lack the coordinated decision-making processes and integration required to credibly fight together in the event of a conflict. Yikes.
Yeah, he's yeah, I think he was
You talking about this one, Zelensky?
yeah, I think he was put in power. He was put in power. I'll leave it at that. But,
Think so, huh?
I think so.
I'll give him one thing. He's showing some leadership ability more than some of these other world leaders.
I don't think that Putin was wrong in calling it what it was, that election cycle that got Zelensky to where he is. I don't think he's wrong there. But everything else, though, obviously, you know.
But you know what? Let's call spade a spade. Russia's been involved in Ukraine much more so than quote unquote.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, 100%. But don't forget, I mean, that was a time we were how many color revolutions were we a part of? Egypt, even Syria, Libya.
Oh, you're talking about the whole what do they call that?
We had a pretty big that
was in the summer of 2011 or the spring. That's what it was called, the spring.
Yeah, we were pretty busy. We were pretty busy back in the 2010s, man.
Yeah,
we were doing our thing.
It's interesting, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I know one thing. Russia is not backing down.
No,
and they won't. It. They're going to keep throwing meat into the ground. I should say the meat into the grinder. They're still throwing men into the meat grinder. They don't care.
It might as well be meat. They're throwing all their felons and homeless people at them. I mean, it's pretty sad to see. But they won't capitulate anytime soon.
Nope. And I don't even know where you even get to the.
Now, the saddest part that I've read so far is that the Ukrainians are going around asking 16-year-old girls to join the military now. I'm like, whoa, hold on.
Oh, did you hear one thing that they lowered the conscription age for Ukrainian men? They're going to try to raise 500,000 men because they were able to, because they weren't recruiting basically military-aged men. So they're going to have a lot more people being able to get into the fight. What does that mean? I don't know.
You're going to have Ukrainian youth out there. You're going to have a 15-year-old boy with an AK-47. That's awful.
Yeah.
You don't need to be seeing that stuff. That's insane. And you know what? We're not too far off from that either in this country because nobody joins the military these days, really. I mean, I swear to God, that was the biggest damn ant I ever seen in my life. That thing was about a quarter of a damn inch, man. I don't know what kind of ant that was. I don't know where it come from. I'm not on the first floor. All right, so like, what in the hell? Come out of the blue, man.
What is this?
Well, I do it all the time, Val. You know what we do? We don't do anything. We just sit to let them happen. We let it happen.
I guess you know the Japanese prime minister is in the United States, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
So he had this to say. You believe that freedom is the oxygen of humanity. He said the world needs the United States to continue playing this pivotal role in the affairs of nations. And yet, as we meet here today, I detect an undercurrent of self-doubt among some Americans about what your role in the world should be.
He's not wrong.
Hmm.
He's not wrong, man.
And then Elbridge Colby, he says, the best thing that Japan can do is make it more tenable for Americans to play a leading role. He goes, a couple of ideas: spend 3% of the GDP to match China's military buildup. Urge and demand America focus on Asia. Less flowery language and patting ourselves on the back. Just looking to see if there's anything new out there. Nothing's coming across that I see. Let's see what else we got. Oh, what's this? Look at this. 1 hour ago, at approximately 1 p.m., Santa time. United States Central Command forces successfully engaged and destroyed one anti-ship ballistic missile launched over the Red Sea from an Iranian-backed Houthi terrorist-controlled areas.
There you go.
Constant. It's every day. Every single day.
Oh, Matt wants to know what parade rest means.
Parade rest.
Parade rest.
Parade rest. Yeah, you don't say the R.
Parade. We do in the Army, though.
Parade.
So I was used. So here, I'll tell you a story. I was used to the Air Force way. I went to ROTC. I was Air Force ROTC.
Right.
So when I joined the Army, I was given command of a platoon in a basic training, and so I went parade rest. Like, what the hell was that? Where's the R at? Where'd you learn that from? That's not Army.
You don't say your R.
Man, they you got it in the Army. You pronounce everything. Parade rest, attention. So Army's different.
There you go. But parade, basically, it's instead of being at attention, you're kind of in the position of at ease, for the simple fact that you just still can't talk.
You can't.
You still have to have bearing. You can't move your head. You can't move. You got to have your hands behind your back, and your legs are spread apart about shoulder length.
You guys, off topic real quick, but just a fast one. When an NCO comes on deck, do you call at ease if they're a ranking NCO?
No.
You don't? At ease. You don't do that?
You at ease to an NCO?
To an NCO, yeah.
No, the only time we say at ease is if it's an officer. Officer's the only one I can say at ease.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, we do that.
If I'm not mistaken, hold on. Let me think. Yeah, because the only time you're at attention is because of an officer.
No, at ease. At ease. Not attention.
Okay.
So, for example, if I was walking to my platoon and they saw me on the CTA, they would go group. They would go group. No, they wouldn't even go group. They would go at ease. And I would go carry on.
No, they don't do that with NCOs. No.
Oh,
the only time they've ever did that is in like tech school, because you're kind of still a little bit on the basic training type of discipline type of stuff. So if an NCO walks in, they have to go to parade rest basically.
Yeah.
As you're walking by. But when you're on your work center, no, it's
yeah. When you're working, you don't do none of that shit. No. Yeah, that's out the window. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you don't do none of that. Yeah. It's like, I remember I had people come up to me. They would stand at parade rest at work. I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
We're working. We're unless I'm pulling you aside and Reedman, you're out. We're good, man.
Now that's a different story. If you're bringing someone in for some counseling, then they're at attention. No, they're at attention.
Oh shit! They better be.
Yeah, and then you take care of that stuff.
You take care of business.
Yep, absolutely.
Taking care of business.
But kind of going back, it's funny. I read a foreign policy article last night talking about how the Ukrainians are adapting to the artillery shortage, and take a guess what it is. We talked about it on the last show. Using first-person view drones. That's how they're combating. They're destroying tanks left and right with those. We saw that. Remember, they're just dropping grenades into freaking portholes.
That was crazy. I didn't
know.
mean to be laughing at that, but I mean, like, what do you do? I mean, it's
Yeah.
so helpless. By the way, Dilly, you try to fleece me, man. You try to fleece me right now. I don't appreciate it.
Oh, what's this?
I'm just saying. Dilly's trying to fleece me. I'm not desperate right now.
Let me go to technical. Let me see if he has any new stuff recently here.
Vince Russo. I watched Vince's Twitch channel a couple of times. It's pretty good.
Oh my.
Shardall in the chat.
Let's see what else we got in here. Does he have anything good? I'm looking at technical because he always has some good combat footage. Sam's tanks.
Well, the thing that worries me the most was the State Department coming out worried about a terrorist threat to America, to our soil here.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, about large gatherings. You hear that every so often, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's worth paying attention to.
It is. And, but you got to be careful with that type of stuff because they don't telegraph. So we'll see.
I don't know. I just found it interesting. I think it's definitely plausible. I mean,
It is.
sure.
And I think it's just everything's more heightened after the terrorist attack in Russia.
Right.
Yeah. But what's going to happen in between Russia and Ukraine? I don't know, man. It just seems to be continually dragging on. And I don't know what we're in a springtime now. Ukrainians can't do anything with as far as going on the offensive. They just don't have the material to go on the offensive.
Well, I mean, think about it like
Uh-oh.
this too. They're one power plant away from being completely in the dark right now.
Oh, that's a thing that's happening. How about the debate going on whether Ukraine should be attacking oil refineries and then people criticizing the Russians for attacking electric generating facility, anything that generates electricity, power plants. And they say, but it's weird because if I'm not mistaken, those are legitimate targets to hit on either side. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking Russia's side, but attacking energy infrastructure, POL, anything like that, those are legitimate targets.
100%.
Yeah.
And Ukraine's been attacking the same things.
What's up, Mark? And Ukraine, but you know what? It's funny. So the United States criticizes Ukraine and attacking oil producing facilities in Russia because of the cost of energy going up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay if Russia attacks their means of being able to try to generate energy. And
Right.
it's what do you expect them to do? That's what you have to do in war. You're supposed to be able to, if you have the means to attack that type of stuff, you should be able to. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's what the ROE is, man. I mean,
it's just
outside of targeting civilians. Hey, man,
Yes.
it's all fair game. It's all
Right.
fair freaking game.
look up LOAC, Laws of Armed Conflict. It tells you right there what is legitimate targets and what are not.
You could smoke the hell out of any of those things you want. Oil refineries, boom, you got it.
I mean, think about it.
Power plants, boom, you got it. Who cares?
In the history of modern warfare, that is what has been done in World War II. What do? Palazzi oil fields. Remember that?
Oh, the Pulaski oil fields. Yeah, we burned the hell out of those damn things.
Because they had what they called the transportation plan before the invasion of Normandy, where they attacked every railroad, every rail yard, the means of transporting any type of war material. Those were hit, and they were legitimate targets. because it's about, again, war. Now,
And
go ahead.
there's also an and to that. It didn't matter if there were civilians in there or not. They were military targets, so they were deemed.
Yes, because there is.
Welcome.
You're talking about lawful and unlawful combatants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, on the same token, with what Germany was doing to London, that was not lawful
No,
targets.
that was not.
Because they were
low
bombing London, they were bombing all these.
They were out to kill civilians.
Yes.
And granted, our daytime bombing campaigns.
Yeah.
you
We
know,
obliterated Cologne. The British obliterated Dresden.
Dresden, yeah.
We obliterated Tokyo with firebombs.
1 million people dead.
More than what both nuclear bombs combined
Yep.
was killed by those firebombing of Tokyo.
My grandmother's city was firebombed twice.
Yeah. Now, if that was done today, those guys would be tried for as war criminals.
Oh, yeah, you'd be strung up. But back then, war is
It was
war.
total war.
War, fucking war, 100%.
A little bit different.
Much different. Much different. I don't want to say that people were stronger back then or anything, but compared to today, it was just a different time and age.
Rock says, waste of money spent on Ukraine when that money. You know what, though? And I'll say this again, and I'll reiterate it. We could do both. We're the United States of America.
We should be able to. I agree with that.
Do both.
I agree with
right?
that.
That's what pisses me off. We should be able to do both. And I don't like it when people sit there and say, oh, well, we got we got problems. Absolutely. But here's another problem is money doesn't always solve everything. Throwing money at something doesn't always fix any problem whatsoever, right?
Well, one of the issues that we have right now, the money to help Americans is there. You just gotta have them do it.
I tell you what,
and they don't do anything.
You know what would help the United States? You actually bring big businesses back to the United States instead of them going off somewhere else, right?
Thank you.
But in order to do that, there's got to be how do you do this? There's got to be a balance between company and workers, right?
Yeah.
And right now it's out of kilter because it's just ridiculous in what it takes to have a big business be able to succeed in the United States. It's a pain in the ass. It really is. They make it more difficult. Look, I get that workers have to be looked after. I get it. But when you could manufacture, or manufacture certain goods in China for pennies on a dollar, when American workers here will demand an exorbitant amount of money to create the same product, you're losing the battle there.
And the other thing too is, I'm just going to touch on it very, very, very lightly. But you have companies, aerospace companies, that are outsourcing to people who aren't Americans.
Mm-hmm.
I have an issue with that. Anyways,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Get it. But I mean, I think So here's the other thing too. As far as jobs goes, not everybody's cut out to be a white collar person.
Correct.
Not everybody's cut out to be a hardcore iron worker.
Right.
But some people might be better off working in a regimented program where they're putting together cars or something.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. And it
nothing.
Needs to be an option. And to make a career out of that even better, that's all gone now. We have a whole segment of people out there that could do something like that. Instead, they're probably homeless now. They're probably homeless because of it. And it's just so gross. We let that happen. So when you outsource all these jobs, you're at the mercy of these other countries. You're no longer in your own country. I mean,
right?
Shit. I mean, we how much do we outsource to China? I mean, think about it like that.
Look. I don't know. I'm not an expert in economics and by any stretch of the imagination, but you know what? It's okay if businesses have to pay a little bit more for their workers, right?
Right.
That's okay. I'm good with that. Look, I'm not anti-business or anything, but I'm also not to the point to where you just totally cripple a company for paying too much. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be a balance. I don't know, but the thing is I don't know how that is fixed. How do you quote unquote legislate it? How do you not let? I mean, because you know how it is. Anytime government gets too involved, things just go to shit.
Yeah.
But you also have to have that protection.
I'll give an example. You know, in my line of work, I have a call center, and I employ with my call center, we currently have 25 people in my call center, and they're in the Philippines.
There you go.
We pay them $5 an hour.
You see?
And I'd much rather hire Americans to do the work than, I mean,
right.
I get it. Everybody needs a job and all, but I'm an American first. I would rather pay Timmy down the street to learn how to say something on a damn script.
Right.
I if I had it my way, I'd pay him $20 an hour to do it.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
look, your bottom line may be a little bit less, but you're still making money, but you're also making the country better.
100%. He's got a job. He's probably not going to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, Jesus.
And when people can fend for themselves and earn a buck to where they can help themselves, guess what? You don't need government being involved in your life 100%. So much, right?
You don't need these $20 an hour freaking McDonald's jobs.
Right.
Freaking A, man.
Exactly. Great point here. When war breaks out, countries aren't prepared to manufacture. The Chinese are laughing at us while they steal our blueprints in front of our faces. But you know what? Here's another thing. Great point. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about here. During World War II, what were we able to do as a country during World War II? The biggest thing that we were able to, the biggest advantage we had,
man, come out and play. If you want a job, we got work for you. Let's go do it right now. We're going to give you a bonus and everything. We're going to give you a pension.
We out-manufactured every single country on the face of the planet. Right?
We came out of nowhere. We became the greatest economy in the world.
And you know what? And that's after recovering from the Great Depression.
Yeah, man.
We've just recovered from the Great Depression, and we were able to be a powerhouse. We became a world power during World War II. And now look where we're at. You know who's the world? You know who's the power in manufacturing? The Chinese. And we're not even keeping up. I just saw a story. The shipbuilding that's happening in the United States is absolutely atrocious. Atrocious. Ugh. But again,
Shardo, you got to get yourself some of that Body Glide, man. That's I'll give you some soldiery advice. Body Glide I'll take care of everything.
Yep, I agree. And I agree. Look, I'm all
100%. Man, these guys are up there making $80 million a year.
Yes. Look, and that's a bunch of bullshit. I agree.
Oh,
look,
dude.
I understand when you have a corporation, it's not easy. I get it. It's tough. You got to be able to make these hard decisions, and you want your business to grow. But you know what? You don't do that by sacrificing the workforce. There's got to be, again, that happy medium to where you're building great products and you're making money and you're also helping your employees.
Mm-hmm.
But there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of that.
No.
What's the age limit to join the military? Oh man, I think it went up. What is it now?
Is
it like 39 or something crazy like that?
Technically 41 or something like that.
That's ridiculous.
Technically, if you have a certain skill set and have like a certain skill set plus a degree, you could join in your 50s even. You get an age waiver. You have to go through the whole process, but you can join much later on in life. I think you have to be within retirement. You know, be able to serve 20 years. In other words.
Let's see here.
I wouldn't. Quite personally, I wouldn't join this military right now. It ain't worth it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
My personal opinion.
Oh, but we're in a period of what do you even want to call it, man? Like I said, the labor pains of World War III. This is tough times, man, because
that's weird.
Our economy isn't exactly humming. We're being threatened on all different, on both oceans, both sides, the Atlantic and the Pacific. We don't seem to have a direction. We can't even. We got our cohesiveness as a nation with our government is in shambles right now. It's just,
one thing that worries me too is just about the economy is the work environment. I get tasked out with doing interviews and hiring for my department, and we're asking for 3 years, 4 years experience. I honestly don't give a shit. If you got the heart to sell, I'll teach you how to do it.
Right.
From
there you go. Right.
But we're putting that requirement on it. So what do these kids do out of high school or out of college?
Yeah, you're screwed because you don't have that experience.
Exactly. It's like, wait, why put that on there? If the guy's got gumption, he's got gumption. Give him a damn shot.
Right. Absolutely. Either he proves himself or he doesn't. You got to give him a chance.
If he's got a degree or not. I give 2 Fs if he's got a degree versus somebody who doesn't. If he's got the heart and wants to learn and can make it happen, that's all that matters. He's got the killer instinct. I don't give 2 Fs. That's what I mean. I don't know. I mean, when I got out of school, it was a little, it was different. Actually, I joined the Army out of a recession. There was no opportunity for me. So.
It's funny because that we talked about that during my time in the Air Force. Is the time that we honestly, when I was an instructor, the crop of students that we would get in, you could tell whether the economy was doing well.
They weren't there to
sucking. Because I'll tell you,
Sam. Yeah,
if the economy was kind of on the downswing, the level of we'll say good students was way better. If the economy was humming and doing well, kind of got some guys that were a little bit more,
I remember.
I don't want to use the word dumb, but they were dumber, right?
Right.
Because the economy was supporting or was able to take advantage of getting those guys who were worth a damn, and then those who kind of couldn't match that would join the military.
Yeah, I remember one time I messed up. We were doing like 15 count manual arms, and I messed up doing a manual arms drill. Right shoulder arms. I think I went left shoulder or some BS like that. And my drill sergeant goes, "What the F, Bingham? You got a college degree. You're like freaking Rain Man.
You're like Rain Man."
He called me a genius retard.
Oh man, he called you Rain Man.
I was like, funny. Oh shit, here we go, man. No, but I mean,
when I was we had a kid saluting like this. My drill instructor, "What are you doing, son? You looking for Indians?" Oh man, it was great. Oh, it was great.
Oh
man, it was just wow, crazy.
Holy shit! Looking for
oh,
well, I mean, they're not wrong. I mean, I remember that 2007, 2008 recession, man. Like, I was like, what in the hell am I going to do? I was going to join the military no matter what, but I was thinking to myself, like, well, if I had any option, like, there's really nothing out there. I mean, at that time, I was doing an internship for the Department of Health and Human Services, but they didn't have any job openings.
Yep.
So it's like, shit, if I can't even get a government job, then I better just join the military then. God. I would hate to be a 20-some-odd-year-old graduating in this economy right now. That's got to be rough.
It's got to be tough, right? I mean, crazy times we're living in. I just don't know where this is going to go. Scary times. It really is. Try not to be a scaremonger, but you got all this stuff happening, and you're just like, where does this lead? Where does it go? Where's the direction here? And unfortunately, it seems growing up, I never heard of a fear of the United States not playing a huge role in making things right. You know what I'm saying?
The other thing too is
at least that's what it felt like. But
growing up, other than there was a couple of bad recessions, in the 80s and the 90s. But even then, there were still jobs to be had.
Yeah, there was.
You didn't really have anybody worrying about not being able to make a
Well,
living.
I'll tell you what screwed it up was this whole COVID thing really screwed up the economy.
Oh yeah, it made a crazy train.
It just
Crazy,
everything just went nutso, man. And we still haven't recovered from that. And I don't
That's
know.
the other thing,
when
Mark.
it's-
Like when I graduated college, I only owed $9,000.
Yeah.
That's people now. Now I got kids telling me they owe 100,000. Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, what are you? Excuse me? How'd you incur that much?
And you know, that's another thing. Yeah. The amount it costs for someone to get an education, I think, is just grossly overpaid, especially for if you're going to a UC, right? A University of California. That's
Don't go to
a
UC.
state college, right? And they're
Don't
trying
go
to make
UC.
it's ridiculous how much they're charging. Our daughter, you know, she's getting ready to graduate this summer from UC Santa Cruz.
Oh
and it's
shit! No, wait, hold on. My second cousin's over there. That's funny.
Yep. But the prices are just absolutely. There's no reason why it needs to be that much. It really isn't. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous for
Yeah,
just to get an education.
My second cousin is a junior at UC Santa Cruz. She comes home to Stockton and she works at I won't say the name, but she flips burgers.
Mhm.
Not at McDonald's.
Right.
But she flips burgers and you know she's trying to make do on all those bills that she's got. I'm like, man, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I
It's
don't-
dumb. It's absolutely just ludicrous. You know, you should be able to get an education where it doesn't, you know, require you to freaking be in so much debt that you just don't know what the hell you're going to do. That's just really ridiculous. Exactly. And you put college coaches are making millions. Exactly.
I prefer,
Priorities, man. Tenured professors make, but yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. They make a lot of money.
And it's dumb.
They make pretty
Dumb.
good. They make about 120 grand. Some of them. Some
Yeah,
of them more than that.
they make a shit ton of money. Yes, they do.
I like the CSUs aren't too bad, but I think I believe they're increasing their tuition this year. if
Yeah, I
haven't
think they
already.
pushed the tuition. All of them. I think UCs and CSUs. I think
Yeah.
all increased.
The CSU Sac State, when I went there, it was like $2,300 a semester. Not that big a damn deal. But yeah, man, Jesus, and that's the thing. You pay so much in taxes. Does it make sense to be paying for public education? No.
Right.
Now, on the other hand, if I wanted to go to a Stanford, I expect to be charged
Because
about
it's a private college.
100%, and it's
Yeah.
Stanford.
And it's
But
there.
I'm going to a CSU or I'm going to a UC. These are state schools. These are state-run universities. We pay
And
so
you know
much
what
in
they-
taxes now. They should be damn freaking free, my man.
Exactly. And if you're showing potential when you're in high school, they should be able to, hey, you know, don't pick just a certain percentage. You know, if there's people that show some talent, you know, help them out. That's one thing that is great with my daughter. She was able to get the Cal Grant.
Nice. I applied
she-
for that and got turned down.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did really good. She finished fifth highest in her high school. So she was able to get that. And on top of that, you know, if that doesn't work, then, you know, I also have Calvet. So either one of them would work, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
great. It's great for veterans, and it's great for those who have children who excel, because they should be. I mean, don't you want the best? The hard work should pay off.
hmm
That's just,
Well, you know, disclaimer real quick. I never graduated high school.
oh, really?
No, I never graduated high school.
Wow.
But that's my disclaimer. But secondly, I'll just say this: let's not forget how worthless high school is. I mean,
Huh.
you know, I look at other countries like, you know, Germany, for example. By the time they turn 16 years old, you have two paths, right? You either pick a trade to work on,
Yep.
or you get ready, or you go to a school to get you ready for university.
Correct.
That's something we need to have. Like the 4 years spent in high school in this country is just a
It ain't
total
happening, man.
freaking
That
waste, bro.
the teachers union ain't gonna fly, man.
No, not at all. You're right.
Ain't gonna fly. It sounds like a great idea. Don't get me wrong,
Oh, it'd be
But just-
wonderful for this country.
but that's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's another ball of wax right there. That's full of.
When you start
BS
getting
and
into
cat
unions
litter.
and everything, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because are they looking for the best interest of your
No, only best
No.
interest of themselves. Thanks, Jimmy Hoffa.
themselves? Yeah.
Love you. you asshole. Anyways,
I stopped going to. Oh my god, dude! It's just so. The prices are just.
holy
The other
shit.
day, listen to this. The other day, I was like, I just gotta get a style. I got me a chocolate shake and a large fry. You know how much that shit cost?
Oh, it probably cost you about $15.
Almost. It was like close to $12 for a large
Yep.
fry and a chocolate shake. What? Come on, dude. Wow, man. That is just incredible. Incredible. Man, just pisses
I mean,
me off.
it's. I mean, I'll ask you this: how does a young E3 or E4 make it?
I don't know.
What if he's married?
It's a good damn question.
What if he's
I don't
freaking
know how
married?
these young airmen are getting through.
What if they're freaking married and got kids? They got to be on welfare. They got to be on food stamps. And that's somebody serving their damn country, and that just makes me.
Oh, I didn't
Wanna-
know the prime minister. He had a speech to Congress. I didn't know that.
Makes me want to go punch a damn air, man. Oh yeah, Mo. Well, not only that, but they asked for something else in that.
I'm gonna have to like this so then I can read it later.
Yeah, dollar menus no more. Yeah. Your dollar menu now consists of one tater tot.
It's just ridiculous. I couldn't believe how much that is, man.
Well, I wouldn't put it like that, Jim. If you qualify for it, you should use the benefits. You know, they're there for you if you need it. And if you get on, if you're ever unemployed or something like that, you could apply for all that stuff and take advantage of those benefits. So, but yeah, some people do abuse the system. I will agree with you.
Yes, correct. And that's what hurts everyone else because, you know, it was meant for helping. But then when
Yeah.
people abuse it, but the problem is there's no, you know, going after the people who abuse it, it seems. It's just,
No, not at all. There's no repercussions. It doesn't seem
No.
like it. The people who
Like-
abuse Medi-Cal,
yep.
people who go, oh, I don't have any income, so I get free income. I get free Medi-Cal, and then
Mhm.
they're working a full-time job. Meanwhile, it's like, okay, dude. that's
Exactly. You know, you can't be doing that. It's meant for people who really need it, not, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, come on.
Yeah,
That's
they
the problem. Again, we're getting into the problems with society. You know, no accountability. There's no responsibility. It's just me.
Yeah, 100%. Shirking responsibility.
Yep. Here, let me start playing the music because we're going to get ready to shut this down. Water. Anyways, gosh, really shut it down. I appreciate you guys doing another conversation here. Still got to think of another. You're getting ready to move here soon, aren't you?
Yeah, I pushed it back a few days. I'll be out here on the 29th.
You're leaving the 29th? Gotcha. All right, cool.
And we'll be on the road at the 29th. I'll be
Nice.
in Arizona on the 30th.
Good deal.
Adios amigos to California. It was
Nice.
fun while it lasted.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I got to be moving on.
Can understand that.
Going through right now, I'm just going through all my junk and separate. I ended up finding a. Well, you know what that is. You only have to.
Oh, that's where your ward comes in.
One of my awards. I was like, oh
Nice.
shit, that's cool. Where's the others at?
Yeah.
So now I gotta go find those ones.
Will be. You need help moving. Jim's asking.
Oh no, I'm good, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Nice.
I'm all
Social
good.
media destroyed society to an extent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Marco.
real quick. UP Steam came out with the schedule. The big boys coming to Sacramento. You're going to be gone, though. It's coming in the middle of July.
Son of a bitch,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
No Arizona trip.
Nope. Here, hold on. Let me find it real quick.
Oh,
You know, it might go
man.
to Arizona eventually. I don't know.
I'll wave in your direction, Mark, as I pass through Phoenix.
Here we go. Where is
On
this?
my way to Oro Valley, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to get out of here. Oro Valley's beautiful, by the way. If you want the city, move to Phoenix. If you want the landscape, move to North Tucson.
Here we go. Here, let's get this out. I meant to talk about this earlier. Here we go.
$60,000 sign-on bonus for Air Force?
Yeah, the Air Force will give you that much depending on the job that you have.
Son of a bitch.
Here we
What am I doing
go.
in my life?
The Big Boy will journey from its home base in Cheyenne, Wyoming on Sunday, June 30th, en route to Roseville, California, before returning to Wyoming at the end of July. It will make numerous whistle stops in communities along the way with public display stops scheduled. So for 2 days, it will be in Roseville. Here is the route right here. Here's Cheyenne. You can see the arrows. It's going to go this way, and then it's going to come down, and then down this way.
Okay.
Follow the same line, come up over the top. That means it's going to come. Ooh.
Hey, Johnny T. You in the chat,
Hold
man?
on.
It's come in your area.
It's going to come through the Feather River
Yeah.
because this is Donner Pass here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to come in. Oh, what's that? The subdivision over there. I can't remember, but it's going to come through Oroville. Ooh, it's going to come down through the 99 corridor here.
Yep.
It's going to go through Marysville and all those cities over there, and then come into Wait, is it going to come into Wait?
That's a little further
Was that a
west
different
of
direction?
Roseville is
No.
northeast.
Because I'm thinking of it. It's going to come through Marysville, but I think it's going to take the Y or the crossover over there or something. Trying to remember.
Mhm.
Interesting. I have to keep an eye on that because I want to see it come in. Or do I want to see it go out? I don't know. I'm debating on how I want to see that. It's going to be in the middle of July, though, man.
Well, you could set up a camping.
It's
Oh,
going to be so damn hot, though, man.
I might have to go take a plane trip out there and see.
Oh,
this
you're
thing.
gonna have to. That's the westward trip too. Hold on.
See, what I would do is I would camp out there. So it goes. Okay, so that's a Donner Pass and everything right there.
Donner Pass is here.
Okay, I'd probably camp out in that area.
Right.
That'd be cool. Just
Yeah,
I would camp out there and then come out there when it comes through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I know this is coming up. Just can't remember the name of the damn route.
Go camp out there in Kybers or something.
Because when I think of Marysville, it usually would come because it usually comes in straight on top of Roseville.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be to the west of Roseville and then come in that way. So I got to.
Oh, so it's going to like West Sac then, and then it's going to Roseville.
That's what it looks like.
Interesting.
Oh,
that's cool.
you know what? Is this coming through where I think it's coming through? Is this Davis?
That looks like Davis.
Oh,
That's
that
why I
means
said
it's going to
West
come
Sac,
through.
West Sac Davis, yeah.
It's going to come in.
Oh, it's
Is it
following
going
the
to come
yellow.
in
the
through
yellow footway.
Woodland?
Yeah. So there's what?
Oh.
Marysville, Wheatland, Woodland.
Yeah. See, but that's more over on this side. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how they're drawing this map. So it may be going through
Okay, so it
Wheatland
could probably
and
be like
Marysville.
Marysville, Arbuckle.
But I don't know if it's going to be further to the west. It's hard to tell. I think more information will come out. I think. Hold on. Let me see. Does it show?
That's pretty cool, man.
Let me see
That'd
if it
be fun to
shows.
see. Hold on a second. That was what day is it coming in?
July 12th to the 13th. So I'm guessing it's going to arrive on the 12th and then leave on the 13th, or it arrives either on the 11th. I don't know. Well, I think more information will come.
Oh man,
Wow.
$300 round
gonna be fun.
trip tickets.
There you go.
Boom. I'll do it.
Nice.
I'll do it.
Nice. That'd be
I'll do
cool. We'll have to see how many people will be interested. I think Kyle said he was interested in going to see it with his son.
Go out there on a Roseville Rail Yard, get some tacos at the Niles.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Tacos.
One thing
and
I do
beer.
want to do is I want to be able to see it come in and then also see it while it's parked.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can go right up on it. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Next episode, don't know. Just keep it tuned. We'll figure it out when the next episode will be. Maybe we'll do a specific topic. Don't know what. Don't know exactly what we'll do. Maybe get back into some more Civil War. I love talking about the Civil War.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I was thinking about the other day. We've got some anniversaries coming up on some battles
Oh!
here pretty soon.
Yeah, just a couple of days ago, it was the anniversary of the end of the Civil War, the surrender at Appomattox.
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll have to think of something.
That was back on April 9th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Mhm.
Almost 5 years to the day. Almost. Anyways, you bet, Jim. Thanks for showing up again. Thanks for
Yeah,
everyone
thank
who showed up. Will, appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
We will see you guys on the next one. See ya.
Peace.